Hello, 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 hello. Hey, can you guys hear me? You got to get that out of the way right up at the beginning. Can you hear me? Sound off in the chat if you can or cannot hear me. Love to see it. Love to see it. Okay. Hi guys. Welcome to Autumn is Terrified. Glad that you've decided to join me here. Hi everybody. Okay, chat already started up like way before this even started. Thank you to whoever's name this is who says that they love me with all of your guts. I love you with all of my guts and internal organs as well. IWTV 2022, do you think that when Jacob said Sam looked like Vivian Lee, he meant Veronica Lake? I could see that. I think, though, honestly, I think Jacob was just going for someone who had, like, lovely, gorgeous, old Hollywood glamour, because that is Lestat. So that was probably, like, the first name that came to his mind. But I could see Veronica Lake for sure. Pleasure to be here with you. I love your energy and your videos. Great to find people who are... Oh, well, thank you. Oh, you guys are so kind. Thanks for all the lovely comments here. Let's see. Oh, I should do... Here, I'm going to start a Q&A thing. I think I did. Okay. Let's see. This is my first time ever doing this, obviously. So hopefully you can, like, submit your questions to this Q&A. And, yeah, then I can be able to see, like, all the questions and everything like that. But there was one, let's see, up here. Would you do an interview with Asad and Eric next season? Oh my God. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna fly to Eric's apartment and we're just gonna do it there at his place. That's what's gonna happen. Who do you think would be great for Lestat's mom next season? Miss Piggy, for sure. Do you think that they would cast her? Do you think we could get like Muppets in here? No, I don't know. Casting, honestly, I don't want to like fan cast anybody as like any characters. I've seen people, you know, fan casting for Gabrielle and Marius and Akasha and everything. And like I know that's fun, but honestly, the people who've been cast thus far have largely been like not very well-known actors, and I have loved what they've done. So I just keeping that all in the casting team's hands there. I am not as wise to come up with that. Let's see. Hey guys. Watching this on the subway. Love that. Oh, yes. Interview with the vampire poster. We have to represent. Hi. Andrea! Oh my God! Hi! Sorry. See, like, people that I actually know in real life popping up in here. This is amazing. Hi, Charlotte, watching from South Africa. The earrings, yes, thank you. I'm all about a drink. This is a custom cocktail by Autumn, by the way. Whiskey, caramel vodka, apple blossom wine, a little bit of lime LaCroix. Now that's top notch. Love my room today. Oh, thank you. Sorry, I'm not like reading these comments at all. I'm mumbling through them and saying thank you, and you guys don't know what I'm saying. Whatever. Ottawa, Canada. Hi. Drawing interview with the vampire art while you watch this. That's perfect. Love that. Hi, Frida. Seen you in here a lot. Fan from Wales. What are those tattoos? I'm so glad you asked. This is proof of my dedication to the freakhood. Actually, let's start with this guy. Because I designed this. This isn't necessarily. This was like a co-design. I drew something up and I gave it to a tattoo artist, and then he, you know, did his magic, made it fit. Because initially I was going to have it up here, so it was a little bit wider, so we had to elongate it. Why am I telling you this? Anyways, this is like, I came up with this after I read the Vampire Chronicles, my idea of like the Savage Garden. So this is supposed to be Lestat's hand holding a carnation here, which, funny story, it wasn't supposed to be a carnation. I meant for this to be a chrysanthemum, for Claudia, because she like picked them and like took them from a grave, an interview with a vampire, and I thought that was so metal. Um, and I wanted some like reference to Claudia in here. So he was supposed to be holding a chrysanthemum, but I fucked up on the description and said carnation on accident. So I got this tattooed. I come home, I'm staring at it, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I love this. And all of a sudden I realize, fuck, that's the wrong flower. So then I immediately was like, well, now I have to design a new tattoo with a chrysanthemum. So that's where this came in. Oh, how do I angle myself? This is mirrored, so it's hard. Okay. So yeah, this is what I came up with for Claudia. I just figured like do a whole tattoo for her. So this is her burning in the sun rip, which is like really dark, but I don't know. I wanted something like dark to kind of balance out the light and everything like that from this one. So yeah, this guy's got like the oleander, yellow jasmine, even though it's black and white, because those are New Orleans Southern flowers. This is supposed to be, like the big mossy oaks with the Spanish oak hanging off of them and everything like that. But yeah, and let's see. Oh, wow. Look how red I am. That's how nervous I am. Isn't that great? Let's take another drink. What up? I have a matching tattoo with my little sister. To commemorate the time that I accidentally drank motor oil in an antique store. That's cool. And then this is another matching design I have with my older sister, one of our friends, based on an inside joke from a trip that we did. And I drew both of these as well. So whatever. I probably went on for way too long. There's so much happening in the chat. Let's see if I can go back and catch up. Oh my God. Hi from the Netherlands. I recently discovered you after watching Interview with the Vampire. Loved your reaction. Cried along with you so many times. I'm so glad that you guys are crying too. I genuinely, like, after the trial episode, I'm sitting at my computer editing. And well, even before then, I like made a comment to myself while I was videoing it. And I was like, I am crying so much right now. This is humiliating. I've made a point in my life never to like let people see me cry. I'm just gonna say that like, oops, I accidentally deleted the footage. And guys, I'm so sorry. There's not going to be a video this week because I like didn't want to share how much I cried. So I'm glad that you guys are crying too. By the time the 8th episode came around, I kind of like got over that a little bit, even though I was still like, Jesus, stop crying. But so yeah, thank you. Sad girl solidarity. Hello from England, just turned my birthday. This is a great birthday present. Oh, happy birthday, Pearl. Cool as hell though. Soya, thank you. Aren't those flowers of death? Chrysanthemums. Yeah. When did you read the first Vampire Chronicles? Dude, I'm a new fan. I didn't read them until after I watched the first season back in, so the first season ended in November, and I rightfully was going insane about the show, and I needed more. I was like, damn, I guess I gotta fucking read again. I haven't read a book since I was like 5 years old. Kidding. I went to college. I've read books. But yeah, so that's how I got into it. My library only had Interview with the Vampire, so I ended up having to like order all the rest of them off of Goodreads. Is that? No, that's the one where you review books. Whatever the thrifting book website is. So, I mean, that means now I got to like actually have copies and like underline them and mark in them and everything like that, which is fun. So yeah, I didn't read them until after the first season came out. And then, yeah, I thought they were amazing and crazy and weird and fantastic and weird, very weird. But I'm, a super weirdo apparently. So that checks out. Tattoo lore emerges. Okay. Oh, so Soul Mistin, Lestat holding a carnation is giving Hadestown. I'm sorry, I haven't watched Hadestown. Sorry. But I will say, he wears the carnation in the when he's meeting Louis' family in the show for the first time. And I think there's even I went back through the books, and I think like Louis even makes mention of him wearing a carnation or something like that within the book. So there is, precedence for him holding a carnation. Which too, I think like wearing the carnation, wasn't that a thing with Oscar Wilde to kind of like signify that you're, like apples and oranges? So yeah, so it works out in the end. Let's see. I should probably look at the question since I like put that in there. Hello? Holy shit. Oh my god. Hi. Hi, Autumn. You look lovely today. Thank you. Have you ever injured your back from sneezing? Fox, is it cat? Whatever. See you all the time in the comments. What's up? I don't know that I've injured my back. I've definitely, had the like sudden kidney pain or something from it where you like the world freezes and you wonder, did I just burst something? Do I need to go to the hospital? But then you remember you don't have medical insurance, so you can't go to the hospital. So like you might just as well die because, living with all of those medical expenses, is it worth it? And you just hope that like nothing too serious is happening. Does that answer your question? Hopefully. Perhaps I missed this, but how did you come to do interviews with the cast? Okay, yes. That's the big question that everybody has. So, like, let's just jump into it now. Holy shit, 145 people, 152 people. Hi, everybody. Okay. Yeah, let's take it back to February. Your girl, Autumn Brown, is practically unemployed. My hours got super slashed at my job. And I was looking for other jobs. I had nothing else to do. I was super bored. And then what happens? Interview with a Vampire releases their first teaser. I can't leave my apartment because when I do, I spend money. Like this. I bought this today in a panic. Why? Why did I do that? Is that not just like the worst thing that you have ever seen? It's horrifying. I hate it. I hate it. Why did I buy it? I don't know. It was 79 cents though, so I bought it. But anyways, why was I saying that? Oh, I was unemployed, kind of, sort of, whatever. I had nothing to do. I was in my apartment. I decide, hey, why don't I make a video about this? Because it's all I can think about, and I can't talk to anybody about this. So I'll talk to myself. And the crazy thing is, I almost didn't even upload the video because I was like, no one is going to watch an hour plus long video about a 30-second teaser. But I was like, I made it, whatever. I'll just post it, and maybe 4 people will find it and like it, and whatever. Yeah, that kind of blew up a bit. And so I made another video, kept making videos. And all of a sudden in March, who comes commenting on the videos? None other than a user named Roland Jones, which of course I thought was a scam at first, until I got a message from Adam O'Byrne, a producer on Interview with a Vampire, asking if we would want to do a Zoom chat sometime. Naturally, I said, of course. And I thought that they were just going to be like, hey, good job with the videos. It's great promo for our show. Here's 10 minutes to ask us anything you want to about season 2. And yeah, that was it. No, that's not what the Zoom was about at all. We start up. I'd prepared 6 pages of questions to ask them. Didn't ask a single one because immediately they started asking me questions, which was crazy. I was like, why are we talking about me? We should be talking about you. And yeah, through the midst of it, they were just kind of like, yeah, so unfortunately AMC is not going to be doing their podcast again this year. So we thought we would, we would just like do something on our own. And we came across your videos and we thought, hey, you could do these interviews for us. And then like, they just like kept chatting amongst themselves. And I was like, no, I can't do that. Yeah, immediate fireworks, red flags. Obviously, I was like, that would be so cool. Unfortunately, I'm too awkward and don't know how to talk to people, and I could never pull that off. So unfortunately, I won't be able to do that. But they didn't really, they didn't really ask me, which is funny. They were like, so yeah, submit us a proposal by Monday of what you think that could look like. And this was Friday, mind you, and I was scheduled to work Saturday and Sunday at my job. So I immediately went to my job, told them, hey, I need off this weekend, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I can work on this proposal. So yeah, I submitted that to them, and they were like, "Great, sounds good. We'll hook you up with some interviews and stuff like that." So it was really, really nuts. I still can't quite believe it happened. I don't know why they chose me. But I'm thankful, I'm grateful, and I kept waiting. I was every step along the way, and this happened only a month before season 2 started airing. So this all happened super quick. Like the premiere, I went to the premiere. I didn't know that I had an invite to the premiere until 6 days before. So I had 6 days to all of a sudden like book a trip to New York and find a hotel and do all of those things. And ask off of work. And then yeah, like immediately, like I don't know. I don't know how much I can say about official involvement. So I won't talk necessarily about that because I don't want to like have a red dot appear on my forehead and maybe sniped out and like never be able to do this again. But so yeah, it was not like an official AMC thing. It was not like AMC replacing the podcast. It was just kind of yeah, Jacob Anderson is the one who discovered me out of the blue. And he's the one who sent my teaser analysis video to Roland. And Roland sent it to Adam, and they were talking, and they were like, "Hey, we vibe with this girl. Let's give her this like amazing opportunity." So that's how it happened. It's all thanks to Roland and Adam. Each week I would like watch an episode, then I would text mainly Adam. Adam's great. And be like, "So who am I interviewing this week?" And he's like, "Oh, I think you should interview Delaney or Mara or, whoever." And I was like, "Okay, great." And then would do my research and prepare. Yeah. And I just kept waiting every step along the way for it not to happen and it to blow up. And I thought that it wouldn't actually happen until it was happening. And I actually had the interview with Hannah. And I was like, "Oh shit, well, I'm here now, so I might as well just roll with it." So that's how it all came to be. Yeah, hope that answers that. Let me try to, I talked for so long. Let me go back to some of these questions. Sorry. How did you get into Interview with the Vampire? Were you aware of the series at all before watching the show? Great question. I watched Interview with the Vampire, the movie, when I was in college, and I loved it. I've always been a big fan of vampires ever since I was a little girl. I've always thought they were super cool. Who doesn't want to live forever? Apparently a lot of people don't want to live forever. I do though. I definitely do. Biting people, sucking their blood. What's cooler than that? Flying around, turning into a bat, going away in a puff of smoke. Who wouldn't want to have those abilities? I don't know. But yeah, so I watched Interview with a Vampire in college, thought it was amazing. I knew there was a book. I just thought it was the one book, but I was like, I have enough reading to do in college. I'm not going to read it. I'll just enjoy the movie. And I remember in like 2019 or so, the show being announced. And again, I just thought it was the one book. And I was like, they're going to make a whole show out of this one book? Like, is that going to work out? But they announced that Jacob Anderson was going to be tied to it. So I was like, oh, well, I'm interested now. But then, yeah, it took a long time. And I remember when they announced Sam Reed as Lestat, and like, I have to admit, I was one of those people who was like, how is he going to take the reins over what Tom Cruise did as Lestat? Because, I mean, Sam Reed is my number one Lestat, obviously, but Tom Cruise cannot be denied his version of Lestat, Tom Stat. I mean, talk about like prancing, dancing twink of all time. Oh my God, he was amazing. So yeah, when they had that like very masculine, like butch headshot of Sam Reed, I was like, yeah, no way. This show's gonna be terrible. And I like read that they were moving ahead the storyline. I was like, oh, they're changing a bunch of stuff. This show's gonna be terrible. So, and I didn't hear anything about it at all until I was desperate for a new show to watch, and I was scrolling through Tumblr, which I hadn't been on in years. It was my first time on Tumblr in years. But that's how desperate I was to find a new show, because I'd asked people on Twitter, and like the things that they were recommending, I was not into. So I went to Tumblr, and someone had posted a certain gift set from the pilot episode. I cannot tell you what gift set that would be. I definitely can't recall. You probably couldn't guess what that might be. And I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. So I signed up for AMC to do the free trial because I thought the whole show was out and I was just going to binge it really quick. No, it turns out only the first episode was out. So yeah, I watched the first episode and then I actually caught the second episode live, unknowing. I got to the end of the second episode and I remember thinking, yeah, I guess I'll watch the third episode. I mean, I'm already here. And when it didn't play, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Why is it not playing the third episode? And I like got down on my computer. I was like refreshing the page. I was Googling everything, only to come to find out that there wasn't a third episode yet. And that's when I realized how much I love the show, because like my whole world crumbled. I was like, what do you mean there's not a third episode yet? I have to wait a whole other week for this? Because yeah, I was supposed to be a House of Dragon girly. That was my show that I was watching on Sundays, and very quickly that got overtaken by Interview with the Vampire. So yeah, it was all downhill after that. I tried to deny it. I tried to pretend like I liked House of Dragon more, but yeah, by the time after episode 4 came around, I was like, no, Sundays are not House of Dragon days anymore. They're Interview with the Vampire days. And yeah, haven't looked back since. I talk so much. I'm so sorry. How are you coping since the teaser? Dude, did you see my teaser video? I'm not. I'm not. Can I show you? Oh, my sister sent me a message. She's one of my mods. Oh, okay. Whatever. This is what I've been doing. Look at that. I've been designing Lestat sticker designs. Oh, whoops. I'm just a girl. Does that tell you how I'm doing? That's how I'm doing. That's how I'm doing, guys. I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Those are all on my Redbubble, by the way, if you want to buy them or anything. I'm just having a whole lot of fun. We're having fun, guys. Which of our guests was the most all in with your themed openings? Rafting, therapy, dreams, and which was the most hesitant? Most hesitant, definitely Hannah and Mara, just because they were the 2 crew members that I interviewed. They're not actors, so they were like, you want me to act? And I was like, just say this one line. It doesn't have to, it'll be great. No matter what you say, just as long as I have it, it'll be great. I just need you saying it for my video. But they both did fantastic. I don't know what they had to worry about. They were phenomenal actors. So, but yeah, they were hesitant about it. But like beyond that, then they were fine. Hannah's thing was so, oh my God, there were so many hiccups along the way. Each and every Zoom had their own little like things that went wrong. Hannah's was really funny because we start it up and she's like, and this is for a podcast, right? There's no visual element. So it doesn't matter like what I look like or what I'm doing, right? And I was like, so no, this is a video. And she like immediately panicked and was like, oh my God, I have to put on some makeup or something and fix my hair, and you can't have this as a background. I hope she's all right with me telling that. It was really funny. But who was most on board? Honestly, they were all really, really into it, I think. I would say most. Assad definitely he liked the he was ready for the art. Roxanne was all about you know, the dress and ready to see the dress. Jacob just wanted to not actually talk about the show at all. He was like, "Wouldn't it be so funny if you uploaded this and it was just an hour and we never mentioned the show once or the episode once?" Um, so he was very mischievous and kept trying to like keep me off track. We talked for like 45 minutes before the interview ever started, just about random stuff, which obviously I included some of that in my chat with him. But so I would say also he wasn't hesitant, but he was very much like goofing around, trying to like delay it and just distract me, which was very fun. It was very delightful. I loved it. Honestly, I kind of was like, I don't even want to talk about the show at this point. I just want to keep chatting. um, but also I was like, dude, people are gonna kill me if we don't talk about the episode. Like I gotta at some point. And he was like, okay, yeah, I get that. Um, but yeah, they were all honestly like just the most lovely, amazing people in the world. How did interviewing Lestat himself wait. Oh, stop jumping around. Where did that go? Oh, I lost it. Oh, I lost it. Okay. I don't know where I am now. Oh, can you interview Joe Potter now that he's been revealed as Nikki? Oh, that would be fun. Hey, Joe, if you're out there, let's chat. What fictional vampires would you cross over into Interview with a Vampire to get interviewed by Daniel? I mean, of course you asked me that. Now I can't think of any fictional vampires. Who would be a good vampire for Daniel to interview? I think it would be really fun to see him try to interview Nosferatu, because the guy would just be like in the corner, not saying anything. And Daniel would be like, come on, you got to give me something here, man. Work with me. How did you prepare before each of your interviews? And what's the process for creating your hilarious intros for the reactions? How did I prepare for each of the interviews? Vomiting. A lot of vomiting. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but it's true. Yeah, I puked quite a bit leading up to them. It's very nerve-wracking. And I shouldn't, because again, they're all so nice and so kind. Seriously, like I cannot express to you how lovely everybody on this show is. Honestly, I shouldn't have been as nervous as I was, but I was. That's just who I am. I'm filled with anxiety and shame and being overwhelmed constantly. That's all I am. So, yeah, but lots of research as well. I would do like a lot, try to read all the interviews that I could, watch interviews, look into other stuff that they've done, just so I didn't, come across as like uninformed or whatever. I don't know. It's panic, lots of panic, and just reading. Process for creating my intros. Can we open up my skull? I don't know. I don't know how my brain works. Yeah, I would, at times try to come up with something like kind of related to the episode, but other times I'm just trying to like think of like some of the intros, like, oh hey, I have the knife here, the bloody knife from my episode 3 intro. Taped the edge so I wouldn't cut myself, and I put paint on it so that when I sliced it across my hand, they would leave the trail of paint. But yeah, I just honestly, it's all a fever dream. I don't remember anything. I blacked out through the entirety of season 2. Do you think it's silly to get the VL logo tattooed? Is it too soon? I might do it. Absolutely not. I mean, you might look back and think that it's silly a little bit now, but I very much am of the opinion that even silly tattoos, it's a memento of where you were at a certain point in life. So regardless of if you don't care about it so much later on, as long as it's not like covering your whole back, like I think a tasteful, small little VL, yeah, sure, like go for it. Live Moss, am I right? Baja Blast. Is green your favorite color? Love your makeup. I do thank you. I do love green quite a bit. I don't really know what my favorite color would be. Probably I gravitate towards yellow a lot. Yellow would probably be my color. Love your citrusy color palette for makeup and clothing. It's yellow. Oh my god. Hi guys. Did you like meet up and plan that ahead of time? Goes so well with your hair and skin tone. Thank you. Yes. Love citrus, love bright colors, love loud patterns, love mixing and matching, love thrifting, love finding funky shit that you can't find elsewhere. Who is the person you were most stop skipping? Where did that go? Um hmm. Where did we go? Where did we go? Where did we go? How did you where did we go? How did you manage to keep a hold of your nerves during interviews with the cast? I would have been stuttering like crazy. Dude, your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. Honestly, I think it's, just, my need to people please and try to come off as, like, normal. Um but yeah, I was just like, "You have to do well. You have to do well," because I knew that, yeah, the podcast wasn't happening. I knew that obviously the cast members would do interviews with other sources and actual journalists and stuff like that, but I was like, obviously at first I kind of kept it secret. I wanted it to be a surprise and people be like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Because it played into my, whole how I was getting the interviews, like the premises for each one. So I didn't want to seem like, just cut and dry. And now we're going into an interview. Um, which that's kind of why I came up with those premises for each one because I knew people would be like, dude, what the hell? Who is this girl? She had 100 subscribers at the beginning of the year, and all of a sudden she's getting these cast interviews. How the fuck is she getting these cast interviews? So that's why I had the premises. Was to explain how I got the interviews. Yeah. Where was I going with that? But how did I get through them? Um, Honestly, like, yeah, a lot of nerves, a lot of nerds. There's a lot of I'm so glad, that I didn't have to edit my Zoom interviews. Another lovely woman in London named Mimi Collins. Shout out to Mimi Collins. She saved my life, because I was like, I cannot watch myself try to have a conversation with another person. And also, she got to see the lead up to when I'm like waiting in the Zoom call, and I'm like, it's fine, it's fine. And then the screen, will stutter when they're like starting to connect, so then I have to like pull it together and try to be normal. But who was I most nervous for? I was really, really nervous for Hannah and Mara just because I felt considerable weight because actors and stuff, that's who a lot of people really want to see, just like the general public. So they get to like talk to a lot of interviewers and they get to talk and talk and talk about the show and their characters and stuff like that. But writers and crew members and production designers like Mara and Hannah, they don't necessarily have the opportunities to talk about their craft quite as much as actors do. So I felt really, really, I was like, okay, this is their chance. Don't blow it because, other people won't get to see or hear from them as much as they do the actors. So you really got to make your questions count. So I was really nervous for those. I was also really nervous for the Eric and Luke interview because it was a double whammy. And I was like, I don't even feel comfortable, like confident talking to one person, much less two, and trying to balance that. And so like I prepped my questions and I was like, just like stick to your script and stick to the order of your questions because I like had a good balance of like, and now I'll ask Eric a question and then I'll ask Luke a question. I was like, just stick to that. Stick exactly to the order that's on your questions and you'll be fine. Everything will be fine. And then Eric came in and just threw a lightning bolt on it and sabotaged me because he asked one of my questions that was like meant for the end of the interview. Immediately he was like, I want to hear about Luke and like what it was like to be thrown around in the interview and stuff like that. And I was like, no, not yet. But he wanted to hear about it. And that's like the biggest thing that I learned is you just gotta like have to learn how to fucking go with the flow and roll with it all and just try to improvise. So I was immediately like, fuck, this whole thing's been torpedoed now. But it worked out honestly really great because I don't want that to come off as Eric slander at all. Because oh my god, it again, it was a good lesson to learn of like, okay, you just need to like be able to improvise. You can't always just stick to, your set script. Um, but two, I think it like allowed me to be like, oh fuck, well, now I don't know what direction this is going, so I'm just really gonna listen to what he's saying and like try to pick up on what they're saying and talking about and jump in there. And yeah, so I just got to like sit back and listen to Eric like tell his stories and then Luke, I loved getting to watch them interact. That was so joyful. There were so many little moments that we had to cut out just for like spoilery reasons or just more personal life reasons. Those kind of details that we did have to cut out. It was just so fun to watch, and I think had I stuck to my script, those wouldn't have arisen as much. So it worked out in the end, and was an absolute joy. They were all absolute joys, and yeah, Eric invited me to come to his apartment in New York, which is like, it's not even a big deal. Who even cares? Oh my god, I talk so much. I'm so sorry. Let's see. How do we feel about the idea of Lestat in drag during his rock star era? I love the idea. We've already seen him in drag, like with the Mardi Gras, Marie Antoinette. Any queens in particular you'd like to see him emulate? I'm not familiar enough with drag queen culture and everything like that to be able to specify anyone. Or do you just mean like queens in general, like pop icons? I do think it would be fun to have some like ode to Madonna in there. They haven't listed Madonna as a musical inspiration, but in Anne Rice's original script that she wrote for Interview with the Vampire, at the very end, Louis gives Lestat like a tape recorder, excuse me, to help him like, learn of the times and everything. And it's kind of like this little tease to what's to come with Lestat's character and like Rockstar Lestat, because he's like, oh yeah, but I'm pretty sure, I want to say it was Like a Virgin by Madonna. Maybe it wasn't Like a Virgin, but it was a Madonna song that was going to be playing in the tape recorder. So I just think that would be a fun little ode in there. Hi, Megan. It's my friend. Do you think we are ever going to find out where the re-recording of Come to Me with Lestat's voice came from? I'm guessing that that's something that maybe Lestat did still in New Orleans for Louis while they were still together before, that whole thing happened, to kind of be like, okay, like, yeah, I did have Antoinette on the track to like hook you on out here and have you swim across the dirty, dirty Mississippi to come find me. So I'll like record one just solo of just me singing now. Yeah, okay. This skipped around again. Oh my god, okay. Let's see. Hi, Autumn. Do you have any tips for someone who wants to YouTube video but is really new to it? Oh, Siren! Is that Siren? Hi, Siren! Honestly, just do it. I know that's super basic advice, but yeah, I think the biggest thing standing in my way has just been like, no, there are other people doing it who are really good. That's why I didn't talk about, people have been like, Autumn, like, where's your stuff for season 1? And like, why haven't you talked about season 1? And for like the longest time, I was like, no, I can't talk about season 1. Like, hey, there are other people out there who are far smarter, who have been fans of the books for far longer, know them far better, who comprehend this stuff so much better than I do. So who am I? Like, am I that arrogant to think that like I could add anything to this conversation? But then yeah, the teaser genuinely was just driving me so insane that I couldn't help but make a video about it. And then I did, and then look where we are. So I would just, yeah, try. And it's gonna be cringy. You're like, oh my god, I look back at this stuff that I can't watch any of my previous videos except for my skiing video. If you haven't watched my skiing tutorial video, that's genuinely very funny, and you should check it out because it's pretty fantastic. But But yeah, that's like the only video that I can like really watch again of mine. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of figuring steps out, and just you have to go through that to finally get to your place and like find your voice. And I'm still figuring it out. I still constantly cringe at everything I do. Like I said, filled with shame and anxiety. That's all I am. Let's see. They chose you because you're hilarious, insightful, but unhinged, truly stat, understand, and have beautiful eyes. Cool. Thank you. Question: what kind of red wine would you recommend to a wine noob? Definitely something very light, not too aggressive, not too tannin heavy. Pinot Noir is a great jumping off point because it has more familiar flavors to it as well. Not so heavy on like the tobacco and oak and stuff like that, and leather that can be off-putting until you've acquired that taste. I called a potential job to sneakily ask if the job was worth it. Got transferred to the manager, so I hung up. Did I make a dick move? Nah. Do what you do. I believe in you, Foxcat. Whatever you do, nah. Let's see. Outside of all the expected plot points in TVL, what would you love to see in season 3, no matter how small? I would love Lestat having a cuddle. Need some cute scenes so bad. I would also love to see Lestat having a cuddle, and maybe a little bit more. I'm not opposed to that. But so a scene that I absolutely want to be in season 3, and I don't know if we're gonna get it, but just because, I mean, obviously how Armand told the story is maybe like not exactly how things went down, because a certain someone was missing, so we can't fully trust his telling of events. But what he, came across as, or said happened, was that interaction we saw just out on the street and Armand taking Nikki away. We don't really, but in the books, Lestat and Gabrielle are walking about, and the coven come after them, and it's this whole big chase and everything like that. And Lestat and Gabrielle like run back to the tower, and then they flee away to this little village, and they hide away in this church coffin because they're like, we can't stay at the tower because now the coven knows where our home is. So when we wake up tomorrow, they're going to be there. So we got to go hide. So yeah, they stay in this coffin in this church, like it's the one that's like at the front at the Catholic church. I didn't grow up Catholic. I grew up Southern Baptist, so I don't know, but that thing. And yeah, there's a scene. So when they wake up, there's a service going on, and Lestat's like, "Hey, be chill. We're gonna just chill in here till service is done, and then we're just gonna sneak our way out." And Gabrielle's like, "Fuck, no, I gotta get out of here. I can't do this." And she's freaking. So Lestat's like, "Okay, well, I guess if we're gonna do this, we can't just sneak out of here. We gotta like be devils and like scare the shit out of these people so that they don't come questioning us or try to kill us, because they're too afraid to do that." So they like burst out of the coffin, teeth down, fangs out, claws out, like rushing out, like, "Rah, run away!" And so they all like scream and scatter, and they can like run out of there and get the heck out of Dodge. And I just think like wonderful mother-son bonding moments. If you're not doing that on Mother's Day, what are you doing? So I would love to see that in season 3. Obviously, though, lots of like Lestat writhing around being slutty on stage. I mean, come on. Hi, Siren, again. Will we get an interview with Mark or Roland? I tried with Roland, and he's very coy. He's like, no, people don't want to hear from me. They want to hear from actors. And I was like, no, people want to hear from you. And also I want to hear from you. And what's more important than what I want, Roland? Come on. What's more important than what Autumn Brown wants? But yeah, so far though, my questions, my request there has not been allowed. But we'll see. How difficult was it to maintain brain flow while interviewing such amazing, beautiful humans? Literally so difficult. There's not a moment during all of those interviews where I'm not being like, don't get caught away in their like beautiful eyes and their beautiful hair and just their beautiful smiles. And But honestly, again, I have to say, I don't know that I ever finished my thought from forever ago. Maybe I did. I don't know what's going on in here. I don't know what's coming out here. Again, I'm blacking out. I won't remember any of this once it's over. Um, yeah, they're all just so nice and lovely to talk to that if you just like talk to them like people, then they're fine. They're not, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like snooty at all or condescending at all. Or even, I thought that, it would be very kind of like cut and dry, like, hello, I'm here to interview. And yes, of course, you're here to interview me. Ask me your questions. And it would be kind of like that. But no, they were all just so very warm and welcoming and inviting. And that does help, put you at ease a lot more than when I started out. Honestly, as it goes on, there's just like peaks and flows. There are times when I get caught up into like just talking with them where like I forget who I'm talking to. But then of course there's always those moments where I'm like, oh my God, I'm talking to like Sam Reed or, Jacob Anderson or Delaney. Oh my God. And she saw me in Central Park. She recognized me in Central Park. What the hell? That's a real thing that happened. Yeah. Crazy. Anyways, but yeah, they're just really welcoming people who they honestly, their energy, their vibe, helped set me at ease a lot more than just me on my own. Is this something you'd want to pursue or just kind of a one-time thing to keep YouTube as a hobby more so, unless this is also a secondary job for you? No, I would absolutely love to, do YouTube full time. The interviewing, I've definitely, it's so funny because I've wanted to make videos for a long time. I've made videos before I started making my interview with the vampire videos, but it was more just as a way to like kind of keep in touch with my family and give them updates about like what I'm doing. Um, uh, so there's some really stupid stuff on my channel if you go back and look at some of my older stuff. Um, yeah, but it was always something that I wanted to do and wished I could do, but I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen, but I'll do it for fun. And it was just a hobby. But that being, I remember thinking, I'm like, I'm so glad that the type of videos that I make would never put me in a position to where people would expect me to interview anybody because and look where we are. Yeah, I never ever wanted to interview people because I'm not a social person. I don't go out a lot. I don't talk to people. I'm quite introverted. And I never thought that I would be good at it. In journalism, like not that what I did was journalism by any means, but yeah, none of that ever appealed to me. Um, Obviously, like I always thought it would be cool to be able to like have the opportunity to ask people, who make my favorite shows and stuff like that questions. But no, I didn't want that pressure. Honestly, I think so people are asking about like nerves with the interviews and stuff like that. And going into it, when I first started doing my interviews, a lot of my nerves, yes, were about obviously I'm getting to interview these amazing people who've like given me honestly like the best sense of community I've had in a long, long time. Um, so it was very much like I'm interviewing Hannah Moscovich or I'm interviewing Delaney Hales. Like that was the pressure that I felt on me. But as the season went on, because at the beginning I was like, I'm not an interviewer. This is what I do. Or this is not what I do. So if I suck at it, oh well, I suck at it and I'll never do it again and it's fine. But then, like, once the first couple came out and people were, like, actually watching them and responding to them, I was like, "Oh, okay, so people are now tuning in, and now people are expecting this from my videos." At the end of each week, they're expecting I'm gonna have a new interview, and, people started, reaching out, like, asking, like, "Who are you gonna interview next?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. Am I gonna interview anyone next? Like, I don't know how I got those other interviews." And then, yeah, there was like expectation built in. That's actually replaced my nervousness with talking to the people was my nervousness of, like, making sure I did all of you guys, the viewers, the fans, and everything justice and did you service to ask, like, good enough questions. Um, that's honestly what gave me bigger nerves, I think, by the end of it all, was just hoping that I did well for the fans. Obviously, I still very much cared about talking to the people, and I wanted to have questions that were, thoughtful enough to warrant their time and them taking time out of their day to talk to me. But yeah, it was very much the nerves to serve the fans, uh, well and everything like that, that kind of overtook, my fear of talking to the people. 'Cause yeah. I don't know. Again, when it was just, like, Jacob and I shooting the shit, I knew I was like, "Well, this isn't gonna go into the interview, so this is fine." And it was nothing. And with all of them, honestly, because before the interviews, there's always, kind of like, "Okay, can you hear me? How's your internet connection? Do you have headphones?" There's, like, warm up and everything like that. We had, like, "How are you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing alright." Um, and that was always, like, really, really nice. And it's very easy to talk to them in that sense. But yeah, it's like once you get into the interview mode, that's where the nerves set in. Like I said, towards the end, because I was like, "Oh god, okay, so now I've gotta, like, be on my game and make sure I get a good video for everybody out there." Who do you relate to the most of the cast? I don't know. I honestly like, I'm not even joking. I've had, like, friends and people and stuff, like, ask me, like, who is my favorite interview and stuff like that, and it sounds very diplomatic and, like, whatever to say that they were all my favorite, but genuinely, like, they were all my favorite, and they're each different individual ways, and there wasn't a single interview that I didn't, like, walk away from and say, "That's my new best friend." Which is so lame and unprofessional. But, like, honestly, most of these people, like, a lot of the interviews, um, I think the shortest Zoom time I had with these people was, like, an hour and 15 minutes, like, most yeah, I was talking to them from, like, an hour, 15 minutes to, like, I think, Sam and Sam's was that the longest one that I think we talked for over 2 hours. Um, but, like, yeah, I talked for over 2 hours to Assad and Jacob as well. Yeah, so, like, I don't know, just talking to people for that amount of time, just one-on-one, how can you not, like, walk away and be like, "Well, that's a new friend." Um, yeah, so but who do I relate to the most? I don't know, I loved them all. I loved them all very, very dearly. Um, yeah, you said you like David Bowie, what's your favorite of his songs? Ooh, great question. Life on Mars gotta be up there, loved that. Rock and Roll Suicide, that has such a warm, fuzzy, spot in my heart. Sweet Thing, underrated, so good. I think that's Bowie at his vocal best. Um, honestly, Labyrinth, also. This is the only thing that I bought at Comic-Con. Can you see that? It's a Jareth the Goblin King pin. Underground, certified bop. Catch me dancing to that on a Friday night, okay? I'm there in the club. Daddy, daddy, get me out of here, okay? Yeah. Um, yeah, there's so many. Honestly, I could go on and on about all of my favorite Bowie songs. How did you feel when Roland mentioned you at San Diego Comic-Con? Um, I felt called out, to be honest. He got me good, didn't he? Super weirdo. Yeah. Literally every time I've talked to him, he, like, has to point out what a little freak I am. Um, but he means it with love. I've come to understand that. So yeah, it was great. It was fantastic. I loved the shout out. What up, Uncle Roland? Let's see. Any chance we'll ever get any extras BTS from your interviews that didn't make the cut? I've thought a lot about that. I have thought about a lot about that, and I go back and forth, because a lot of, like, the extra stuff, There is definitely stuff that, like, was interview related that did get cut out just for time. Which I say that and, like, all of them were, like, an hour long. But still, if we kind of reiterated points and talked about something that we'd already talked about, then we would cut that out. So stuff like that, I don't really feel like it's necessary to add in. Um, but the stuff that, wasn't necessarily part of the interview that I think is really fun for me and like that I really enjoyed. I don't really know like the ethics behind sharing that just because like on one hand I'm like okay yes they know like I'm recording this like from the get-go. I said get-go, not gecko. I don't know if that came across. Whatever. Um yeah, so I don't know if it's like okay, well they know it's being recorded and they can use this. So whatever they say is on the record. Because it's not like any of them ever said, well, actually, Eric did mention some stuff that he was like, this isn't part of you can never mention this. This can't go out there. And I was like, no, I wasn't gonna. He was the only one who like explicitly said this is off the record. But yeah. But also too, I'm like, but it wasn't made apparent by me. I never like said this is on the record, like all of this is. So I don't know what like the ethics are behind like, sharing like little bits of conversation that maybe they might be under the impression was never going to be released. So yeah, I do think that there are like some little blips. I think with Jacobs, I could release some more of like what we talked about that wasn't related to the show because he was very much aware. He kept being like, he was making comments to my editor. He was like, Mimi, don't cut this out. You have to keep this in. About things that like we would talk about that did get cut out because yeah, otherwise we were going to have 45 minutes of us not talking about the show. So yeah, I think there's room for like Jacobs I could do, but then I wouldn't want to just add Jacob because I don't want the rest of them to feel like, well, why didn't they add mine? Not that they care, not that they would, I don't know. But still, so I don't know. It's I go back and forth on it. Let's see. Kitty loves to read. Good for you. It's good to be literate. Which of the new characters in season 3 are you most looking forward to? Either because they're just fun to watch or if you have ideas about interviewing the actor. Obviously, I mean, everybody's very excited to see Gabrielle, and I'm very excited to see how they explore the mother-son relations there and how that goes, how far into it they're gonna go. Are we getting full tongue kisses or not? I need to know. So that's, definitely looking forward to. Joe Potter. Yeah, Joe Potter would be great to talk to. I think Nikki's a fantastic character. But yeah, and but like all of them. I want to talk to all of them again. Delaney, she's for sure coming back as a ghost. I've decided that. We've all decided that that's happening. So I'm very much looking forward to like seeing how they do that because it's happening. I'm not leaving any room for it not happening. I've decided it, I'm manifesting it, and it's gonna happen. So yeah, I'm excited to see what route they take with that. If it's gonna be like an actual ghost Claudia, or if it's again going to be kind of more manifestation of guilt type of deal, kind of how Ghostet was in season 2. Because I do think with Taylor the Body Thief, and even Merrick and everything like that, it kind of leaves it open to interpretation of like when Claudia's, haunting Lestat and Merrick when like she's summoned as a ghost and everything like that. Is she really, well, I guess in Merrick it is very much more like her actual ghost. But, there, I think Anne leaves it open enough to be like, you can decide if Lestat really was being haunted or if he wasn't. By the end of the book, or maybe it's in Men Mock, he decides, he's like, no, that wasn't really the ghost of Claudia, but I choose to believe that it really was. It really was. So yeah, I'm very interested what they do with that. So getting to see her just play a whole different side of Claudia, I think. Because I feel like Ghost Claudia is very much like more like menacing and angry, and she's stuck in the afterlife, and doesn't know how to get out and is being twisted by that and stuff like that. So getting to see more of like the menace back in Claudia, which I think will be so fun for Delaney to get to explore, because I think season one they showed like a little bit more of the unhingedness of Claudia, which I think makes sense with where she was in the story, because she's still a young vampire and learning. So you still kind of get like that teenager experience that you would with a vampire, where she's doing crazy things like just killing people and leaving them in the bayou and stealing body parts and the frenetic energy. But by the time season two comes around, she's older, she's wiser, she's not necessarily doing that much crazy shit, menacing shit anymore. So I think, she definitely came off as more kind of, I mean, I always found Claudia sympathetic, always, even in season one. I love her. But definitely way more sympathetic in season two. So I think Bailey got to do a little bit more of like the crazy, like unhinged side of Claudia, especially with Murder Night and her like pouncing on people. I mean, I know we got to see Claudia pouncing on people in episode 1 and everything like that, and her killing people in episode 6. But I mean, it was more for, survival and stuff, and less for like the joy of it. So I want to see Delaney have the opportunity to like really go unhinged, So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Also, too, I feel like they'll find a way to bring Luke back. How could they not? He did such a good job. That would be so fun. And then, yeah, Louis, Lestat, Daniel, Raglan James, dudes. I'm so pumped about him being in the show. Oh my God. And maybe other people are not as excited as I am about it, but I'm like losing my mind about it. I know we talked about this in my episode 3 video, but like the decision to include him, and he's listed in the lineup of people, in their little summary that they had for season 3, as well as Fareed. Fareed's coming back in season 3. What is he going to do? Oh my God, guys. The possibilities are endless. But Raglan James, I'm pumped. I was so glad that he wasn't David, because I'm sorry, guys, David, not my number 1 character. But even like aside from that, I think that, like I said before, Raglan provides such a fascinating entry into the world, because he's a snivelly character and you don't know if you can trust him. And I think that's provides so much better drama, versus like if he had been David, then it's like, oh, well, he's David. We can trust David. Whereas now, with him being Raglan, and Raglan joining up, being a part of the team moving forward, well, not the team, but, investigating and stuff like that. He's the one investigating. We won't trust him as much. And we'll have to be questioning what his goals are, which we know what his ultimate goal is. So, yeah, very, very excited about Raglan James. Okay, moving on. Let's see. Do you have any hints at who is being cast for next season? Marius, I don't have any info. I wish I had inside info, but I don't. It's really funny how many people reach out to me, like thinking that I'm part of the Interview with a Vampire team, and I've got like, closet of secret vaults of information. And I don't blame you, but no, unfortunately, just as clueless as you are, I'm left to wander in the wind. I love your Interview with the Vampires and Lana Del Rey album so much. Thank you, super fangirl. Sorry, that was probably so loud. I can clap pretty loud. Thank you. I'm very proud of that series. That's before my interviews and everything like this. That was the height of my career. Will always cherish my Vampire Chronicles as Lana Del Rey albums video series. I think it's genius. I don't know what I was drinking last year, what was in the water last year, what like chemicals were eroding apart my brain to like release all of this like genius. But yeah, I kind of went off with that video series. So thank you. I was listening to the Melancholia album, which is like the fan-made leaked cuts from Ultraviolence yesterday, and I was just like, oh my God. Yes, Blackwood Forum, but also this is so Rockstar Lestat coded. I mean, I wish I was your girl. Come on. He's so singing that to Louis. He is. Ugh. Writing in Cars with Boys. All of it. Oh, give it a listen. Do I have any fan cast for Gabrielle? Nope. Oh, Miss Piggy. That's who I said. Which is the new character? Oh no, I already read that. Love how much the cast and crew love you. Oh, thank you. It's insane, honestly. Literally, yeah. Like I don't mean to sound to like seem like I'm ragging here, but like they watch my videos. Like that's something we talked about, which is insane. When I met like I said, Jacob Anderson is the one who sent Roland my teaser analysis video. When I was at the premiere, I got to meet at like Roland Jones. I just all of a sudden found the gumption in me, and I walked up and I introduced myself to him, which he knew me. We talked via Zoom, but I was like, "Hey, it's nice to meet in person." I don't know what I was drinking. Yes, I do. I was drinking prosecco. That's what I was drinking. That's how I got up the nerve to do it. And then yeah, at the bar, I just like am waiting on my drink, and I look over, and Levin is there, and I'm like, and I'm like, just say something, just say something, just say something. And I was like, hi, just wanted to say I'm a really big fan of your work. Like a nerd. And he looked, he was like, oh, thank you so much. Then he was like, wait, no, I recognize you. You're the girl from the skiing down the mountain video, aren't you? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I'm a big fan of your work. And yeah, like, and so I like met Adam, and Adam like walked me around and introduced me to different people. I met Luke. I met Delaney. She was like, oh yeah, she was like, I just watched your the second teaser analysis video, and Assad walked up to me. He walked up to me, and was like, your videos are so astute. Sometimes I think AMC should silence you because you're getting a little bit too close to what's going to happen. And so like we talked for a bit. That was insane. That was insane. I died. I went to heaven. I looked down upon my body and I said, hey, girl, have a blast. But yeah, Sam and Jacob left. And I was like, bummer, but I can't be sad. Had a great time. But yeah, I'm talking to my friends, and like literally out of the blue, a hand comes towards me. And I was like, oh, who's putting their hand towards me? This is crazy. And I follow the hand up, the arm to the shoulder, to the face, and it's Jacob. And I like, I'm staring at him like this, and I like clasp his hand and shake his hand, and he said, I'm starstruck by you. And I immediately did like a demonic standing back bend while still holding on to his hand. So I wonder, like, from his perspective, if I like pulled him forward at all. But yeah, I like my back bent backwards, and then I came back up and I just looked him in his eyes, and the only thing I said that night was, I love you. Very cool and calm and casual, like always. That's what I do. And yeah, he was like, you're amazing. Your videos are amazing. And then he was gone. I don't even think he walked away. He just like disappeared into like sparkles of smoke, and he was out of there. But yeah, but then, and like the next day, at the panel screening, but Adam and Roland both texted me and were like, hey, I heard you didn't get to meet Sam. That's bullshit. We're going to fix that. You're coming to the panel screening tonight, right? And I was like, yeah. And yeah, so afterwards, they do the panel screening, they do the Q&A, Jacob and Sam go to the stage, and I was like, is this how I'm going to meet him? And so I'm going to the stage, and then I hear Adam, he's like, Autumn! He's like waving me over. So I run over, and yeah. I get brought backstage. My little brother, he wasn't sitting next to me. I looked over to him. I was like, you need to come with me right now, or I'm leaving you in the dust, and you're never going to have this amazing experience with me. So my little brother, like, apparated to right by my side, and I went backstage, and yeah. Got to meet Sam one-on-one, like, backstage, which was just insane. And yeah, why did I start all of that? I'm so sorry. All that to say, like, he immediately like was asking me about my videos. Sam asked me if he could be in one of my videos. So it's nuts. All of that to say, it's fucking nuts. I don't understand, but I love it. I'm here for it. It was a great time. It's a great time. Yeah, Eric was the only one that I didn't get to meet in person. He was in the green room because they were all like back there. But when you're looking into Sam Reed's blue eyes and square jaw and gorgeous blonde hair, yeah, the world around you kind of fades away into nothing. So I didn't. He like left pretty quickly, so I did not get the chance to meet Eric in person, which was really funny because I asked him about that in our Zoom interview. I was like, Eric, you were the only cast member who was at the premiere who I didn't get to meet. What's up with that? Why were you avoiding me? And he was like, no, we met. I was like, no, we didn't. He goes, yeah, at the premiere. When they were lining us all up and everything like that, we, did the whole like formal hi, this is Eric, and you are Autumn. And I was like, oh my God, did that happen? Like, he was so convinced that he nearly convinced me that I remembered everything wrong. And I was like, oh my God, was I drunk? No, I didn't drink that much. How could I have forgotten a meeting Eric? And I was like, no, that definitely didn't happen. I was like, Eric, that must have been another tall brunette. That was not me. And he was like, no, it was. And I said, no, it's not. And he was like, oh, well, we've done this before, though. We've Zoomed before. And I was like, no, we haven't. He was like, yeah, we have. No, we haven't. And he said, oh, well, maybe just because I've like watched your videos and everything, I feel like I've talked to you because of that. So, wow. I don't know where all that came from. Sorry, guys. That was like a whole lot of humble bragging, wasn't it? Ooh, sorry. Let's see. I'm so late, but how did it feel to talk to Asad, Sam, and the others? Like, how could you remain sane? It was so hard. So hard. How do you feel about the Lestat Armand Louis Armand as a polycule? Thank you for all the content. You're amazing. Thank you, Ari. I think the polycule is very fun. I do like, I'm open to seeing, different pairings and everything like that. And obviously would be totally open to seeing them explore that more. But at the end of the day, I am like a Lestat girly hardcore, like number one. So I need that to remain in game and a number one priority. But I think it's fun if we get to like fool around with some other pairings and stuff like that. I'm down. Okay, I'm down. As we all saw, I was touched by the Lumondism that was happening earlier in the season until certain truths came out. But yeah, let's see. Have you always liked vampires? Hell yeah, girl. Sink those teeth into my throat. Like, do you... Oh, yes, I would have asked about Roland as well. Like, at this point, do you guys exchange birthday presents? Not yet, but I will. He doesn't know it's coming, but it's coming. I'm sending him a Christmas card for sure. Him and Adam both. They don't know what's happening. Let's see. Interviewing Roland, we talked about that. Sorry, guys, I don't know. Existential Shrew. Hi, Daisy. How you doing? Do you think Rashid might be Raglan's body victim? Ooh, Rashid matches the physical description of the body perfectly and he has proximity to Raglan. What a great question, Daisy. I mean, that would be like really fun and a really interesting way to get Rashid back into the picture. But I almost kind of feel like maybe they're just going to keep Raglan, as he is now. But also, would they do that? I guess because I think if they're going to have him introduced this early on, and again, be kind of part of the team, whatever that means, but just involved, then maybe that'll be what builds that camaraderie and that like trust between, I don't even want to say trust, Lestat and Raglan. Because, in the book, there's no reason for Lestat to believe what Raglan is saying because they've never met before. So he has to be like, no, look, I've done this before. Whereas with the show, like I said, if he's going to know Raglan ahead of time, there's going to be room to build in that maybe he'll come to like believe him without him having to body swap first. But I mean, if they are going to do an actual body swap, I think Rashid is the perfect option. So I think that's a fantastic idea right there. Do you have any interview with the vampire tattoos? I mean, talked about that at the very beginning of the stream. I don't know. To recap really quick, this is representative of the Savage Garden. This is representative of Claudia. So I mean, kind of Vampire Chronicles, so not necessarily like, Sam or Jacob or anyone on arms or anything, but still. Have you ever watched Sesame Street, The Count Unnecessary Censorship on YouTube? If not, prepare to laugh so hard you keel over. I do love a little bit of unnecessary censorship. It's fun. Koi Element Company. You're still awake? Girl, go to sleep. What do you think they'll channel from Jacob, seeing he is mentioned in the info list for season 3 as per your interaction with him so far? I don't know. I guess maybe like his vulnerability and his lyrics and everything like that. With Lestat, because I think he will be, he's telling the secrets of history and everything like that. But I think we're also definitely gonna get some like boohoo crying, please come back to me, love me, blood sporty, type of songs out there, about like, hey, we're not great together, but also I love you, so please come back to me. I need you in my life, baby boo. Yeah. Campari, yes or no? Why am I blank? What is Campari? I hope that didn't am I still here? Okay, yes. I know that's alcohol-y thing. Oh, I don't think I've had Campari, to be honest with you. Listen, I know I work at a winery and I do love wine and I do love a good drink. I'm very uncultured though. It's a very casual winery. Good wine though. Very tasty wine. So I don't know. Good trouble. We'll have to have some Campari sometime, although I said it was bitters, so you wouldn't have it on its own, but we'll make a cocktail and we'll throw some Campari in there. Ask Roland the Rashid question and see what happens. I mean, I'm just kidding. I could text him, but no, I don't do that. I get panicked. I don't want it to seem like we're chatting all the time. It's very rare that we're chatting. Although Roland did message me before this chat happened and was doing a live, and I was like, yeah. But I do get kind of, every time he messages me, just ice runs down my spine and I begin to sweat and hyperventilate a little bit. It still panics me to this day, which if he heard me say that, he would roll his eyes so hard they would get lodged in the back of his skull and have to have surgery to fix them. Because he'd be like, why? He's a very chill, lovely man. Very cool guy. Honestly, we could not have a better show run by better people. That's all I can say. I will never stop talking about how fantastic the people who make this show are. Seriously the best. Let's see. Campari is really good with orange juice. I love a good OJ. Let's see. All I want is Assad's hair routine. You know what? I'll add that to the list of questions next time that we're chatting. Roland creeping and lurking. Dude. Roland is not actually he's not really chronically online. Vampire Townhouse! Hey, dude, what's up? He is kind of always watching, though. Every now and then, he'll, just send me something where I'm I don't know. The very first text I ever got from Roland Jones was actually about my intro to, the outro I did for after episode 5. No, after episode 6. The one where I fall off the cliff and I have another special guest here, Barbie Bottom Brown, as my stunt double. That earned me my very first ever official text message, just one-on-one outside of a group chat from Roland Jones. He said, what exactly did he say? Let me pull it up. This is the only thing that I will share just because I think it's really funny. No other text messages will be shared. Barbie falling from rocks, outstanding. Autumn Brown stunt double, nice. Just the kind of elegant dumb we love at the book club, which is his and Adam's production company. So, yeah. We should start a petition for getting Roland interviewed by Autumn. Roland, this is the fandom speaking. Yeah, Roland, come on. Help me out. Let's dad on chicken shop date. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? When I'm sitting right here. When I'm sitting right here drinking my drink, you would suggest him go to another interviewing site? How could you? That one hurt. No, but that would be very fun. He would fall in love with her immediately because that's what he does, right? He falls in love with every fucking person he meets. Emma Corrin for Gabrielle. She's a bit young. She's younger than Sam is, right? We're thinking, yeah, Emma Corrin. She's Princess Diana. Let's see. Were you ever a Velvet Goldmine girly as a kid? Okay, guys. Are you ready to have your hearts broken? I was just messaging one of my buddies on Twitter about this literally a day ago because she asked me if I'd ever seen Velvet Goldmine, and I haven't, but it's on my list. I'm going to watch, literally, it's like I've made a list now of movies that I'm going to watch, and it's like number 2 or 3. I'm working on it. I'm going to get there. I'm going to watch it, okay? Because it's been on my radar for years, and it's kind of always been on my perpetual, I need to watch this list. And for whatever reason, like I just don't think about it until I'm going to bed or I'm in the shower. What's up with that? Maybe it's all like the little gifts and everything I've seen, shower thoughts. I didn't say that. Who said that? But yeah, now that like season 3 is coming up and everything like that, and everybody's been saying, oh, this is going to be so Velvet Goldmine-esque, I've got to watch it. So I'm going to do it soon. I'm going to fix this soon, guys. Don't worry. It's going to be fixed soon. Okay. Low budget stunt doubles. Hell yeah. Practical effects always. As much as you can. Always go for practical. And also, sorry guys, I just wasn't going to throw myself down a cliff. Filming that, I got a huge, like, swelled up bruise because I threw my arm into a cactus when I, like, hit the ground. Caught it on video. It, like, immediately, I've never seen something swell up so quickly in my life. Like, from the moment that I threw my arm out and I realized what I did, and I was like, ah! And I looked at it, it was already, like, a sizable bump on my arm. If you've ever been stung by a cholla cactus, it's a fantastic experience. Their needles, if you get close to them, sometimes will like jump out at you. But yeah, it immediately started bleeding. So I don't know if you remember, but like in that outro / intro or whatever, there is blood on my arm, and it's not fake. That's real blood because I didn't have anything to wipe it off with other than my dress. And I was like, actually, this is metal as fuck and makes me look cool. So we're keeping the blood. But yeah, practical Barbie effects, because honestly, this was a last minute decision because what I had planned, it just did not work out. Like you saw me kind of like fall and then hit the ground and it didn't look right. So I was like, I need something else. What can I do? So I went to the thrift store and I found this girl, and she had no top on, but she had leggings and a scrunchie covering up her breasts. And do you know what a fucking weirdo you look like as an adult woman buying a topless Barbie at a thrift store with crazy hair like this? Yeah, I looked insane. The girl cashed me out. This was the only thing I bought. And she kind of like gave me the up down and was like, take your Barbie and leave. And then again, having to go to a public park and like film myself throwing a Barbie down the rocks where like families are walking by. Ultimate creep move. It was a super windy day and her dress kept flying up, so it looked like I was like getting undies shots of this Barbie in a public park. Total weirdo behavior, but I had to do it because like I had to like show me falling off of the cliff somehow. So yeah, humiliated, and I had to do it twice because I accidentally ended up deleting all the footage of the first time that I went out and did it. So I had to like wake up early the very next morning and refilm all of it. So I'm glad after all that effort and after all of like the humiliation involved, that was the thing that like got Roland to text me. Oh my God, Chelsea! Hi. Okay, let me go back up in the chat. We've had more chats flowing in. Wow. Let's see. Oh my God, so many chats came in all of a sudden. I asked for this in the QA, but what are your letterbox top 4? Ooh. I do so bad being asked questions like on the spot like this of favorites. I'm terrible at picking favorites. I'm so indecisive. But let's just like spout shit out. Clue. That's definitely up there. Oh my God. Top board game inspired movie ever made. It's not a really like high threshold to crossover, but they leaped over it, okay? I'm talking record breaking leap. All right. That bitch, they did 12 feet on the high jump. Never seen before. Fantastic movie. We love it. What's a good like film graduate movie to like throw in there? The Graduate. I do really love The Graduate. Yeah, Mrs. Robinson. Real Gabrielle vibes there, you know? What else? Oh, Pride and Prejudice 2005. Has there ever been a better movie made? I don't think so. No, it clears. It's so good. Number 4. Ooh, last one. How do I choose one more? Fuck. Oh my God, there's so many to choose from. Ten Things I Hate About You. Where did that come from? Honestly, great movie. So there we go. Let's see. List out on hot ones, but Autumn is the host and he gets pissed about the milk being available. The milk is for me. I would not survive on hot ones. Actually, no, that's not true. Right before I moved to Colorado, at my going away at party, we actually did a hot ones challenge. Like my friend bought the box of all the hot sauces and we bought a shit ton of like blank wings. And so we like put the sauce on all the wings and like leveled up. And whoa, I mean, I did it all. I was very proud of myself. I stuck it out. So like, way to go me. But wow. I mean, Kings of Leon, this mouth is on fire. That's not the song. The song is Your Sex is on Fire. But I wasn't going to say that. But I did. Why did I say that? Okay. Let's see. Isabelle Huppert as Gabrielle Nation, Population 1. No, I've actually seen that. Maybe you're the one who's like fan casted that on Twitter, but I've seen that out there. So if that wasn't you, there's somebody else out there. I wondered what the book club was about. Frida. Yes. So that's their production company. So they were the ones who, since Roland and Adam like were the ones who hooked me up with the video and everything like that. They did. Yeah, that's what it is. Dwight Street book club. Michelle Pfeiffer for Gabrielle. What is she doing these days? I haven't seen her in ages. She would be amazing, though. But again, I think she's a little bit too high profile. And apparently not, like I said, I've not heard her doing things recently. So maybe she's not acting quite as much anymore. But what a comeback that would be. Oh, my God. I would lose my mind. Bunny Rabbit, so glad you make these videos. I'm always so entertained. Well, thank you. When will Sam beat another video? God, tomorrow. I fucking wish, dude. I wish. He's amazing. He's amazing. And he was totally on board for being in a video. I mean, they all were, but he was like, when I met him, he was like, is this gonna be Zoom or whatever? And I said, yeah, it's all gonna be Zoom interviews. He was like, oh, I should just like, you should just have a video and then I should just like be there in the background, you know? And then we're just like on your couch chatting. And I was like, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, that is very much what should happen. And we should try to make that happen. Which is really funny because Jacob joined the conversation at that point. And he was like, oh my God, Sam. Because Sam was like, yeah. It's so funny too how much literally the second Jacob joined the conversation, all pronouns changed from I to we. Like Sam just like didn't even think about it. He just made that adjustment on his own. He was like, yeah, we'll be there, him and Jacob. And he's like, we'll just like stay at your house. And I was like, yes. And Jacob, so British and polite, was like, oh my God, you can't invite yourself to her house. I'm so sorry that he's imposing upon you like this. Stop it. And Sam's like, I don't see what the problem is. And I was like, I don't see what the problem is either. So yeah, Sam should be at another one of my videos. Hi bestie, New York crew, we're all in the house. What's up? Hey guys, love you guys. Love the New York crew. Kai, Miriam, Siren, Amber, Varsha, Forum, Kirsten and Annie. You guys are not New York, but I met you in New York, so you're part of the New York crew too. Layla, hey girl. So I'm so thrilled to have been able to see you. Hope you're good with me saying your name. Sorry. Probably should have cleared that ahead of time. I just wanted to say hi. Live watch party for Velvet Goldmine. We'll see. I don't know how I feel about like live watch parties, just because I don't know. This is already a hurdle enough for me to do. Velvet Goldmine reaction video. We'll see, maybe. Let's see. What about Belle with Sam Reed? Classic. Oh, swoon. Oh my God. How can a man make you fall in love so hard? I just don't know. He just has that ability. Let's see. Letterbox reveal. I don't have one. Sorry. I'm like, for as much time as I do spend online, I'm not really as online as I should be. And recently I've not really spent a whole lot of time online, which is wild. I've been trying to get to this point for a long time in my life. And it's not a conscious decision to do that. It's just because it kind of stresses me out now. I love how we've all seen those Tumblr posts when we're together on this brain rot. Hell yeah, girl. Autumn in season 3 interviewing Lestat in universe would be a dream for real. It would, wouldn't it? I could be Daniel's, like, protege? Yeah, because he's a vampire now. He's got things to do in his life. He can't be a reporter anymore. He's got to, like, go off and do his vampire things. But what's this? This young up-and-comer who he, feels an attachment to. He's going to teach her how to be a good interviewer. I've just written myself a new role into the show. Thank you very much. Gabrielle played by Tilda would be insane. That dude. Because she has the gender for it, right? She has the gender for it. Oh my God. Tilda Swinton doing anything. Insane. She's amazing. No, but listen, Autumn playing Philomena Kunk interviewing Daniel Malloy about his vampire interviews. Yes, love that. Have you seen Only Lovers Left Alive? I'm so disappointing. It's another one that's like legit on my list. I've been like, oh my God, I have to watch this movie. I'm gonna do it. It's number 4 after Velvet Goldmine. Only Lovers Left Alive. I'll do it. Top tier fan cast for Gabrielle, Kate Blanchett. We love it. Oh, let me go back to the questions. Sorry, I haven't been there in a while. I should go back to the questions. Maybe it seems to have gone down. Where are we? Okay. I don't know what's happening with the question thing. I'm gonna go back to the chat. Hi Venom Toys, how you doing? Sam in the newsreader was so good. Dude, dude, don't even get me started on the newsreader. Don't even get me started on the newsreader. Seriously? Like, it's in my top 5 shows, like, of all time. It's so, so, so good. And it's not just because I've told people, like, my sister, she's like, you only like it because Sam Reed is in it. I'm like, not true. Is that an added bonus? For sure. But, like, just the show itself is on another level. It's sublime. It's literally, it takes me so long to get into a TV show. So I know I have to give like quite a few episodes for it to like generally hook me in. Newsreader, within the first not even 10 minutes, like that open where like Dale's whole like news segment screws up and he has to run out and refilm it, and the like weird leg kick he does to get himself into character. I was like, oh yeah, this is about to sear itself into my heart, isn't it? And it did. Yeah, it wrecked my soul, wrecked my life. I love it. It's amazing. Everybody should watch the newsreader, even though it's like impossible to watch in the United States without, you know, sailing the high seas, if you know what I mean. But it's phenomenal. And I'm going to do everything I can to get US distribution rights. Australian Broadcast Company, I think they recently actually at the beginning of the year like sold, either the company was sold or they sold the rights to the newsreader to another company. But I know ABC was the original owner, not American ABC, Australian ABC. But I will pay them. I have about $3 in my wallet right now. I will give them all of that for American distribution rights so that a larger audience can watch the newsreader because it's so fucking good. Let's see. Protecting mental health. Thanks, Hannah Thompson. I try. There's not a lot left up there to protect, but I try. Which one of the cast do you think would do well on Hot Ones? I think Delaney would smash it. Yeah. And Roxanne. I think Roxanne would be like the underdog to come up. She's amazing. Dudes. Those two, I said this in the interview with Jacob, but like for real, I'm going to travel the world with Delaney and Roxanne. They don't know what's happening, but I do. Yeah, no, I think that they would smash it. Mara, dude, Mara would take it down. She did a tequila shot with jalapeno syrup in it for our shots. So, yeah, she would kill it on Hot Ones. I have no doubt about it. She's been living in New Orleans for like over 20 years at this point. She knows a little something about like having a little spice in her food. Whoa, why did you jump? Jodie Comer in any other roles for the show. Oh, love Jodie Comer. Sam said in an interview that he begged Roland for the boo back lines from Queen of the Damned to be included in season 3. Do you have any other camp funny lines from the movie that you would also include? What interview did he say that in? I have not seen that. That's so funny. So I've actually just watched Queen of the Damned for the first time ever, very recently. No reason why I did that. Definitely not for a video. So this is very fresh. I literally watched it last night. And dude, other campy funny lines from the movie. Oh, what was that one? There's one where like Lestat and Marius are sitting on the little, I don't know, cart thing in front of the billboard, right in front of Lestat's giant billboard crotch. Okay. And Lestat says something like, I don't even remember, something about like his cold, dead little black heart. And just the way that Stuart Townsend says it, the way he says everything in that movie. What was happening there, guys? What what was happening there. It's so cheesy. Um, but yeah, I don't know that any of the other lines I would honestly, like, I'm sure if I was, like, looking for funny lines, some would stand out to me, but the boo and boo back, that would be pretty iconic, I have to say. Sometimes you need to get a good ship to watch the good stuff. Noah, hey there, see you a lot. You're so right. um, to all my Nordic cousins, the newsreader's on Viaplay. Nordic cousins, there you go. Watch it. Um, where did where did where did the chat go? Also, Autumn describes falling in love with the opening shots of Sam Reed's face, eyes running around, legs kicking. Yeah. Honestly, that's how it was. Do I like Dragon Ball? I've never watched Dragon Ball. Yeah. So I don't know. Should I? I watched the movie, the terrible movie that they made like in 2005. Autumn Dear, tough question. Hi, Elise. Do you think season 3 is coming out in 2025 or 2026? Now, don't put that out there. It's 2025. That's happening. We're not waiting till 2026. No. But no, I do think 2025 because I think I've seen recently, which I don't know if it's verified yet, that they're going to be filming in Prague, in Paris. Like they've applied for it for the end of November. So I think if they're going to be filming end of November, I'll probably give it about 3 months. So November to December to January to February. Then editing. I'm thinking I would say that we'll probably get like a fall release again, 2025. And I think they probably, I mean, if things had gone to plan, well, I don't know, but it's still a fall release. It probably would have been too soon for a fall release last year had the strikes not happened. But still, I don't know. I just think like Interview with a Vampire goes well with like cooler weather and everything, because spooky season, vampires, pale skin, winter, all that jazz. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, I would say probably like a fall to winter 2025. Hopefully fall. Autumn, not fall. Autumn. Let's see. I wish anyone going to the Vampire Ball in New Orleans this year? Dudes, I so wish. I so wish. I looked into it, but I can't. I what's the Joe? Whatever. I was trying to think of Tiger King. His like, I will never financially recover from this. And I'm kind of feeling that about like my trips to New York and San Diego. Totally worth it, but there aren't going to be trips happening for autumn in the recent future. But maybe next year I'll get to go to the Vampire Ball. All right. Jesus Christ, wow. It's been an hour and 43 minutes on this live. And I really need to pee, guys. That's probably too much information. So I think we're going to close this out, I guess, if anyone has any like final questions or whatever, or just like comments. Autumn, have you ever wanted to work in film? LOL. I actually have a degree in digital filmmaking. Yeah, so to answer your question, yes, but that didn't happen. But in a weird way, I'm kind of coming around. Not that this is film, but doing videos and stuff like that. It's been fulfilling that part of my soul desires and wishes. So thank you. Hugs from Mozambique. Wow. Thank you, Aline. Please don't stop. Wait, sorry. I gotta go at some point or like go to the bathroom. Roland, if you're well, let's see. I don't know. Yeah. I can there are things that sorry, I saw a chat and, like, I don't know, like, how much I'm allowed to say about certain things, but, let's just say, like well, I don't think that this would be, um, going against anything to, like, have this be out in the open, but to, like, people concerned, I was compensated for doing the interviews and stuff like that. It was very nice of them. I would have done it pro bono for free, obviously, but Roland and Adam were like, "No, obviously, like, we're asking you to do these interviews, we're gonna pay you." So, I did get paid to do the interviews, so that is very nice. That's why at the very beginning, because by law, I have to put in there if there was sponsorship for a video, that it's sponsored by Dwight Street Book Club. So, again, couldn't ask for lovelier people out there, especially considering they were like, "Give us a quote of what you think we should give you." And I did. And yeah, Roland was like, "No, that's too low. We're gonna pay you way more than that, okay?" So, very lovely, kind people. So don't worry about that. They did right by me, okay? Go piss girl. Thank you from Paris. Thank you, Grey Hope. I should go piss. If you can announce your live in your are you planning anything for Halloween? Oh my god, I have so many ideas for Halloween, guys. Oh my god, why are so many chats rolling through all of a sudden now that I'm trying to go? Um, but thank you guys. Good night from Iceland. 2 a.m. in London. Thank you, Lady V London, for hanging out. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. I was extremely nervous. But you guys are great. And yeah, maybe we'll do this again in the future. And see you next time. Bye.